friends. Happy Friday! Yay! It's been a week. I don't know about y'all. I am struggling with the lighting in my studio right now. I don't know. It used to be fine before surgery, before surgery. And then I had to move my camera over here, which was fine, I thought. And then last week I was like, man, I'm red. Like the whole room is just pink and red. And I don't know if it's from my curtains, because my curtains are a little pink, but then I don't know, it's just a weird red situation. So I moved everything back over here, including my lamp. That was my husband's suggestion. He's like, well, let's try the lamp over here. I'm struggling with it because it's a weird, it's different. I'm fine with change. I think change is necessary in life, but like when you mess with my lighting in a studio or an art space, it's very uncomfortable. So anyway, I'm still trying to deal with that. So if the lighting still seems a little off, I feel very washed out. It could be the color, it could be this wall, could be lots of things since we're struggling with lighting. Anyway, to this week's video, I am going to show you or take you along on a little art thing that I am doing actually with an artist that I found on Instagram. She's doing an artist card swap. Now, if you're not sure what an artist card is, let me show you what I started with as my inspiration. This is not what I wind up making. I've seen into the future. So they are tiny little 2.5 by 3.5 size cards, roughly the size of a business card. And you art on one side and then you put your information on the other side. I actually had to print them to put them on the back of my card because I had to order a new stamp. I have a stamp that has Juliana Addison art, which is also me, but I wanted one that had Juliana Addison art and the Creative Reprieve on there for obvious reasons, and Instagram and all of that stuff. So I had to make a new stamp, but my new stamp's not here yet. So I took what I used for my new stamp, like the artwork, and colored it because the stamp's just going to be one color. And then I colored it and I'll cut those out and glue them to the back. So anyway, you art on one side of the card and then there you go. You can put anything you want on it. Like this one I painted, I used a roller and painted the cards and glued stuff on there, glued some ribbon on there. You can add glitter if glitter is your thing. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. And then you trade it with other artists. And then by the end, you have like a stack of other people's art cards. And that's kind of fun because then, you know, if you run into somebody saying, oh yeah, like I saw this design one time online and I can't remember who made it. And you can kind of sift through your cards and see if maybe you might be able to find that person, or if you are looking to collab with somebody or looking just for some fun inspiration from somebody else. Like, you know, you just never know. So that's what I'm doing this week, art cards. And I will say I have not done an art card swap. I think this is the first time I've ever done one. And there's only 12 cards that I'm making. It actually only required 11, or it required 6 to 10. And I was like, 6 to 10, usually you get a set amount. So whatever you send is what you get back. So I am sending 10, and then I'm giving the lady who is organizing it one as well. So that's 11. So then I figured, well, let's just make 12. I'll keep one, you know, whatever. Or give it to Natty or my son. So they can have one if they want. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. I hope you enjoy, and let's get at it. Oh, friends, I'm so annoyed. Like, technology is just not my friend this week. So I had voiceover recorded for this and then realized, why is it so odd? And it's like, oh, because I didn't speed it up. Anyway, so Natty and I went to this resale place that does like art supplies. Like, it's a resale shop for used art supplies that aren't used. So we found that little music book of Bach, and we just loved it. They had about, I don't know, a couple dozen of these, but they were really little and just lovely thin paper on the inside. I've seen people paint these little books and do watercolors and beautiful artworks on each page, which I think is fun. I love the idea of like wrecking a book, say an old book or a used book or something that is going to just be tossed in a landfill somewhere, and repurposing it into something else. I have a hard time doing that. I'm not going to lie. I have a hard time tearing apart books, but I got this little book, this music book, to use copies, so I'm copying it. These papers are actually Japanese cut rice paper. Now, I don't have any other information other than the fact that it's just rice paper, Japanese rice paper. I actually got 2 in this one. The other 2 are just singles. These are little crabs. Like, look how amazingly delicate and beautiful that is. Like, it's insane. I actually follow an artist who does this with an X-Acto knife, and they do that kind of art in Japan. But I don't know if this is laser cut, if it's, some other way. I doubt very much that it was hand cut, although maybe. You never know at a used art shop where this stuff comes from and who made it or anything like that. Like, I wish I could have more info sometimes. Like, these are just amazing to me, like just the delicateness and they're just beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They might be framed on a wall, maybe somewhere, someday. But for right now, I need to probably put them in a protective sleeve because I'm honestly not sure what I did with them. I know they're safe somewhere. Shoot. I don't remember what I did with them. Shoot. They're somewhere. I'm redoing my office, remember? So, good grief. Whatever. I know I have them. It's fine. They're safe. It's good. Moving on. Good Lord. All right. This paper is, it's a paper ribbon, which I thought was really beautiful. They've got little strawberries on them. And the thickness of it is really nice. You can tell by the packaging it's old. It's probably a vintage ribbon. Can we just take a moment and appreciate the fact that there is vintage pieces out in the world that are really true vintage pieces? They're beautiful. But not everything that's old is vintage. Can we come to an agreement on that? Because it drives me freaking bonkers. That you see stuff that's just old and decrepit. Oh, it's vintage. It's like, no, you just didn't take care of it. Like, that's not vintage. This is some lace ribbon, and actually the little details in it remind me of citrus. Like, I wish my camera could get up closer, just a little bit. But yeah, it kind of is very citrus-esque. And actually with ribbon like this, with the lacy ribbon, you can dip it into a white glue and use it in a collage piece and it turn out fine and it glue down fine. You can also use a really good glue stick. This is some leftover paper that I had from a project that I did for Natty's teachers for school. That paint I got on clearance. I wish I could get more of it because it's kind of a metallic, like that metallic blue, and then the purple scrubbly bits are just lovely. So I really love this stuff. I'm gonna cry probably someday when I run out. And a little roller because that's fun, and that just makes paint go down. So lovely. These are some, they're like duct tapes, but they were in a washi tape bin. So I don't know if that's an actual product that Washi's coming out with, or because I like washi tapes as they are. And I'm going to do weird things with my hands because I have no idea what we're doing. Okay, so we're taking some paint and we're going to add a little bit of water. I've got my cards all laid out on my little mat. This mat winds up getting cut up by accident later on. I was cutting, I don't even remember what the heck I was cutting. I was cutting something and cut my mat by mistake, and I was so mad. I was like, oh, really? Because I'm trying to take care of these mats and clean them up after I'm done, and it didn't work so well for me. So putting some water and just mixing that into a little bit of a watery paint, because these paints that I now use are very thick. Like the cheapy little art bottles of craft paint or whatever would be good for this because it is very watery and kind of transparent, so that could be really good. I wanted a thicker paint face in the shot. Thanks so much. All right, gotta clean the paint off because I just do. Excuse me. Get my little rolly tool in there. and just roll some paint. It doesn't even matter that they don't all match. Like, that's kind of the point. So we just roll back and forth until we cover the cards in some sort of even fashion, if that's what you're going for. It really doesn't, like I said, doesn't really matter. I liked mixing in the different pinks, and I kind of didn't mind that the base color didn't go on as heavily as I would have liked initially, because then it comes out into like these beautiful, and plus you're going to cover up, like I'm going to cover up a lot of this anyway, so it's fine. It's just something to make the card not blank, because I don't know about y'all, but facing a blank page is probably the hardest thing you ever do as an artist. Like, every artist struggles, I think, in some ways or at some point in their life with a blank page, because it's so daunting, and it's like, okay, I've got this massively huge piece of paper and it's just staring at me, and like, now what do I do with it? And it's just there. So I wanted to add some of this, and I'm cutting up. I'm folding it so that way I get the 12. Like, I need this to work for all 12 pieces. And I don't have a ton of this paper. I'm gonna lean in the shot a little bit more. Like, good grief. Let's just lay on the table. It's fine. It's whatever. And tiny little hearts. Ta-da! So these little hearts all have like the little purple speckly bits on it, which I love. But wait, there's gonna be something else. It's fun. So it's just a good way to use up some scrap paper with little art cards, because like you can literally go to your scrap bin if you have one. I feel like most artists have some kind of scrap bin, whether that's of string or yarn or fabric scraps or paper scraps or painted paper scraps in my case, or scraps of ribbon and just scraps. So I cut out these tiny little hearts, and then I have to wait for this pink paint to dry. So I do have a fan going. At one point I think I wind up moving them closer to the fan. Let's see. What else? So I gotta have 12, right? Because I got 12 cards. And someday I would like to actually produce a deck of cards. I think that would be really fun. Natty really wants me to do that. She's like, Mommy, you need to come up with your own deck of cards. And it's like, that would be really cool. Except I don't have 52 characters for a deck of cards. Like, as awesome as that would be, I just don't. So I told her, when I get 52 characters of my own, I will put them together in some fashion for a set of cards, because I think that'd be really cool. So I'm trying to like dry these with my heat dryer, but or my heat gun, but realizing that's not going to work because these are just too small. So I'm going to move them out of the way and put them in front of my fan instead, because that's fun. It's important you dry off or somehow get the color and paint off your tools. I'm not great about it. My rollers I'm better, but even with the rollers, like, it's fairly easy. You know, like, you just roll it on the paper. The big sheet of brown paper that I showed you that is now a book cover for my sketchbook, I actually created a lot of that with my brayer roller, whatever you want to call it. I think that's the same, right? Brayer. Anyway, it's what I wind up doing. And see, there's the little bits of lace, or the roll of lace. So I go back and forth with this paper tape, or this paper ribbon, because I really want to use it. I wanted to use it so bad, but I don't know, I couldn't figure out a way that I liked to do with it. So I wind up not using it. So I'm trying to do like a little black edge on these hearts just to give it a little bit of dimension. I thought the Posca would work, and it works all right. If I had thicker paper, maybe. It's really not the best idea. So we ditched the Posca, and there's another pen coming. Oh, it is a joy of pens. Like, good Lord, it's so much. It's crazy. So that part's coming. This paper I just love. My friend who lives across the street gave me the most beautiful and thoughtful birthday card. Like she always writes the most lovely things in them. And the paper she used to make the card, and she kind of made fun. She's like, "Oh, me and my homemade cards." I'm like, "Girl, I love a homemade card. Like it's just so lovely." Anyway, it had so many beautiful colors and little triangles on it. And so I actually wind up copying this because I like the paper so much. And like, I'm not about to cut up a birthday card. Like, I'm just not. So again, cut up books. Now we make copies. So, I mean, the printer is your best friend when it comes to art and collage and things that you can mesh together. Like, it really can do amazing things. So, never discount your printer. So I actually cut out the brighter squares because I want it to be a different color, and I kind of just glue them all over the place because I want them all to be similar, but maybe not all exactly identical. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to just find the best place because I don't I don't want to cover up all of the loveliness that I have on the cards. Some of the pink ones don't make it just because like it blends in too much. So then I wind up using the darker colors. So I'm swapping them out. But yeah, like that's all I'm doing. Like it's just a copied in color. And if you're curious, I will say, if you have a good printer, it makes all the difference in your life. Like I have one that my husband said he wants. It's a crappy little, what is it even? It's an HP. I think it was like $40 at Walmart, mainly because I just needed a printer at the time. My really good printer died. And we went back and forth about it, like, do you really need a printer? Can't you just, pay for printing? I'm like, dude, I don't want to have to go all the way across town to go get prints when I need something printed. Granted, I wind up doing that anyway because the printer was such a piece of crap. He didn't have any problem printing from his computer, like via Bluetooth. I could not get Bluetooth to work. I had to hardwire in with my computer. All that to say, I now have a higher end Epson with the Eco Tanks, and I'm telling you, it prints edge to edge. It's amazing. Well worth the money. I did save, and I worked really hard for it, and bought it with my own money, please and thank you, from an art it was like an art, what do you call it? Something I sold, some art I sold. Yeah, that. Anyway, so I use my printer a lot. I love my printer. It's fantastic. Now I know why they are a little bit spendier, and you get what you pay for. So this is just the music sheets that I made a copy of. Again, made a copy and cut those up. So because I don't know. I have a hard time ripping books apart. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just gluing that. The glue stick that I use is Pritt, P-R-I-T-T. And it's fantastic. I think it's a European or English something. I don't know. You get it overseas in stores. Here, I've never seen it in stores where I live, but I got it online for like $6 or $7 a tube, and I buy 2 at a time. Just in case. Because, you just never know. And I've been using the same one for a while. It's a big glue stick. So I feel like it's, and again, well worth its money because it's really good glue. So, really good glue. And they do last a really long time. I've been using the same tube for, I feel like forever. For well over a year, I would say. Granted, I don't collage as often as I used to, but it's been good. It's held up. And I think I'm just now getting towards the end of it, so highly recommend. These little hearts, I want to blacken the edges. So I am whipping out an ink pen that I have. As you will see. Oh, heaven's sakes. Sorry, I'm having a lot of interruptions, so this audio is very broken up. Anyway, so I'm getting out this pen, and I don't use it for its actual intended purposes. I think it's like a calligraphy pen, maybe, or just like it's a brush pen of sorts. I think it has Indian ink or Sumi ink in it, maybe. I can't remember. But I'm just painting, I'm just drawing on the edges with the black. Because I wanted, I wanted to give the hearts a little bit of definition, so that way they kind of pop a little bit. So a lot of layers, you gotta add a little zhuzh to stuff so that way it pops up. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the next interruption. It's gonna be big. Oh, here we go. Oh, good grief. All right, well, that was an interruption that took several days because now it's Wednesday. I'm just like, I need to get this video finished and edited. So here we are, blackening the hearts still, which is, it is. Let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of obsessive about getting ink and stuff on my hands when I work with paper or glue because I don't want it to spread everywhere. So yeah, I do use some wipes. I was actually trying to make a puddle to like get these little hearts in there, but that just didn't work very well. It's not enough ink to be able to dip it. So we move on. It's fine. Moving on. Yeah, that doesn't work either. It's just not. It's fine. Whatever. So we're gonna move on from this. Moving on. So now we're gluing. They've dried a little bit. Not great, but it's fine. It's like the mantra of my life. It's fine. It's fine. The little artist, yeah, and then we have like an ink situation on my mat. Actually, I wound up cutting my mat by accident. I was so mad. I was like, seriously? Like I was trimming some paper and bloop, cut the mat. Which, it's still usable. It's just not as pretty, so I can't use it for videos and such because now it's like, it's got a big hole in it. It's fine. So trying to get these to be the same was not really on my list of things to do. Like I wanted them similar, but I wanted them different enough to be like, hey, this is cool. And then trying to figure out what I'm doing with the washi tape. Cause like I start with the rainbow, but realize, yeah, that's not gonna work for this. Like it's just not, the vibe is off. As much as I love rainbows. So looking in my jar, actually I was unpacking my office, or my studio, which is why I didn't have a video last week. I didn't even post hey, here's an update, because my studio has just been a wreck. So I have been unboxing some stuff and putting them on shelves and lugging shelves upstairs, even though I'm not supposed to be. And man, am I paying for that with my foot. Good grief. The recovery is rough. I'm just gonna put that out there. But I found the box that had all of my other washi tapes in it. So I have this jar that's like a little cookie jar full of washi tape. And my sister sent me a bunch, which I was excited about. I got some for Christmas for my mom, which, I love me some washi tape, so it doesn't matter where it comes from. I love it all. And I found the little baskets. I have these hanging baskets that go on like a gridded wall portion, like it's a wire wall. It's almost like a pegboard, but it's mesh wire. Anyway, I found it at Michael's, and so I got these little baskets that hang from it, and I had them in the baskets, and granted, I had issues because they kept falling through the slats, but so I moved them into just a plastic bin on my bookshelf, and the bin is chock full, like full. I must have a couple hundred rolls. And what's funny is that I'm sure my husband would see those and be like, what in the world? Like, why are we buying colorful, pretty tape? What's the purpose? It doesn't work. It's like, oh, dude, it's for art. And like, I've used all of them, I think, or at least most of them, probably 95% I've used them. There might be a few rolls in there that I haven't actually used because some of them are really big and really fancy. And I'm like, ooh, I go back to that whole saving stuff for a good occasion. And what's sad about that is that, we as artists need to not, or just a creative, like use your supplies while you have them, folks. Like use them up. Don't be afraid to use them. Don't save them for a rainy day or a really great project, because you just never know what's going to be a great project until you're in the project. And I think that was part of my frustrations in growing up, is that, and now I'm trying to undo it, is that my mom would buy me like a hardbound sketchbook. And, back in the day, those were, they can be very expensive. And they are very nice
bound books and stuff, and my mom would always say, save these sketchbooks for your really great stuff. And it's like I wouldn't ever know what to draw in them, because it was like, well, I don't know if it's going to be a good drawing or not, so I just wouldn't use them. I still have sketchbooks that I haven't used from my childhood. So I'm working on creating in it anyway. And then one of the artists I follow, Andrea Nelson, she's lovely and just like a spoonful of sugar. She's just lovely. And if you haven't checked her out, do so. She has a website, but she's Andrea Nelson Art, I think, or just Andrea Nelson on Instagram. But she did a painting in a new sketchbook, and she even said, like, well, this sketchbook is ruined, so now I don't have to worry about it being ruined. And I was like, yes, like, this is what I'm talking about. So use your sketchbooks, folks. Use your supplies. Don't be afraid to mess it up. Like, who cares? It's just, you don't have to show it to anybody if you don't want to. But that's a mentality, and that's a thing that I think a lot of artists and creatives have gotten into, and we need to not worry about it, because life is too short to worry if you're going to ruin a sketchbook. And hey, guess what? You're not going to ruin the sketchbook. It's just one page in a sketchbook of, like, depending on how many pages you got, anywhere from 10 pages to 100 pages. It's going to be okay. It's okay. I give you permission to screw it up. I give you permission to use these supplies. They are meant to be used, because hey, guess what? Washi tapes lose stickiness over time, so does regular tape. Paint loses its viscosity and its ability to spread. It gets hard and chunky and dries up, and then you just got to throw it away. And art supplies are expensive, folks. Like, they are really expensive, especially now. And so if you have supplies, go use them while they're still good and while you can. Don't save them. So thank you for attending my TED Talk, as we were. All right, so I'm sticking tapes on stuff. I will say, when you do washi tape, anything with a washi tape onto paper, you need to glue it, because otherwise they will lift, because the stickiness, the adhesive quality is just not as great as, say, duct tape or something. So they're meant to be lifted. They're meant to be, just kind of perched on things. They're not meant for super long-term use or long-term sticking. So anytime you see any of my collage work or artwork that I use washi tape, which I do use it fairly often, I've glued it down. So I stick it down, and then I'll lift it up and put a glue stick underneath it. So, because it's necessary in life. Okay. So I am using just some printout that I did that says create something beautiful, because that's my mantra. I tell you guys that every week. Create something beautiful and put it out in the world, because the world needs more beauty and creativity and love and all the happy things. So that's what I'm doing with the little words, and gluing some lace ribbon down. I told you I was going to use that. And I just thought that was really fun, just to add a little chunk of texture to it. It actually winds up, I think I wind up gluing it down several times, because my glue is soft enough to where it'll get in all of those little lacy crevices, but it also needs to be, stuck down well. So these little words I'm just cutting apart, which is kind of a process. Kind of a pain in the butt, honestly. But it's fine, because it's worth it, and they turn out really cute, and I was really happy with that. So I actually made a big piece that is sort of similar. It starts off similarly to the little ones, and I hung it across the room from my desk on the wall. And at some point, I'm going to make some cardboard letters and fill them with something. I'm still trying to figure out that project, but make, because those letters you can get at the craft stores, but they're really expensive for what they are. So it's like, you know what, I can do better. I can buy some sheets of just cardstock, or not cardstock, but poster board or whatever. or display boards. I think that's what I wound up getting, like cheap display boards at the dollar store for $1.25. And so at some point I'm going to cut those apart and we're going to make some letters, so that'll be fun, and fill them and put them on my wall. So wow, that was like totally off base. Sorry. It's fine. Okay, like gotta stop saying that. My God, I'm driving myself crazy. Okay. So this goes on for a while, so we're gonna skip ahead. This paint, y'all, like I wish I could find more of it. So it has little chunks of glitter in it. And you know, y'all know my disdain for glitter, but this stuff is amazing because it's like I can't even call it paint really, because it's more of like glue with chunks of sparkly bits in it. So that's what it is. It's a sparkly bit chunk of stuff. But it's awesome because like you can literally pick up the little shards of stuff and move it over, or put it wherever you want. So I zhuzhed up all my stuff with this and then added a little bit of water for this blue paint because I wanted it to kind of be wispy, and kind of thin, just to add just a little bit of sparkle, but without, I wanted it to have some transparency to it, so I added some water. This paint's really great too. Both of them I found on clearance, I think in Michael's years ago, and thankfully it still works, and I do use it quite often. Well, maybe not often enough, I forgot I had it. But I use it on things and I just love the way it comes out, and it always makes me so happy because it's colorful and sparkly and shimmery and all the things. If I could find more, I absolutely would buy some different colors because like I really like the paint. I haven't looked online. Maybe I should look online. You can find everything online, I was told once by a man in the woods wearing a glowing seahorse costume. True story. It sounds so creepy. Like what? What in the world? I knew him, if that makes you feel any better about this story at all. All right, so this goes on for a while. We're gonna skip ahead now. Aren't these so fun? Like I really love the way they came out. I think they're really great.
Oh shit, were you not recording? What the hell? Okay. All right, friends, that was it for me. I hope you have fun this week. These are really fun to make. I'm very excited about my swap now. I have all of them. I will say, I think the ones that are my favorite are the ones that I have words on the top versus words on the bottom. Like I just kind of, I don't know, something about that reigns nice, like sits well with me. But anyway, and I will remind you, if you use washi tape on art projects that you want to, hang up or save or whatever, make sure to use some glue on your washi tape. And also, I will be using a top coat on top of this. I have to let these dry for another day before I do that. I want to make sure everything is really, really good and dry. I'm going to do a little tiny top coat, just to protect everything and kind of seal it all in. I would actually suggest a spray top coat. Maybe I'll go get that. I might have to get that. I don't have any spray top coat, but a top coat is always nice, like a sealant of some sort. I don't want it to be shiny, so I'm going to get matte. But just so that way your work sticks around, like so. Anyway, use glue, use adhesive, top adhesive, spray, all the things. So I hope you guys had fun creating with me today and following along. Thank you so much for joining me. And this week, I hope you find something that inspires you to create something beautiful and put it out into the world, as always. And until next time, friends, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. Tell your friends, like and share, put it out in the world. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm going to stop doing that now. Until next week, I will see you later. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.